Guys, Orbus International has been, incepted since 2010 and has been into the training institute, or I would say training company, which has been growing exponentially into the cybersecurity and IDM domain. We have introduced our new portal as cybersectrainings.com, which is a new identity for an Orbus International. Orbus works with the mantra, which is very clear that if we want every professional with the learn, grow, and succeed model.
Whenever user is onboarded into an Saviynt system, so there is a username. Username is will created from Saviynt system. Okay, this is with respect to whenever user is onboarded into an Saviynt. So this will directly created from Saviynt system. So your display name Chandan Goda, first name and last name. These are the mandatory attributes whatever we require whenever user is getting onboarded into an Saviynt system. Okay. First name and last name is Chandan Goda, and phone number this and all is not required. So with respect to first name and last name, the email ID created chandan11.goda@infinityData.com like that. Okay, this and all is not necessary. But if the user, if the whenever user is getting onboarded, if they have given the certain attributes, means that is fine. Okay, and delegation means I'll explain you. This is a different part. And delegation name here. See, global ID. This global ID is the main thing. Okay, whenever user, for example, if you want to search any user detail with this global ID means this is also directly created from Saviynt system only. This we are not creating. Okay, global ID X Goda C. So in terms of Saviynt systems, they have created this X Goda C. And employee ID and employee number, for example, user type, you are seeing here managed services user. I am user type is a managed services. And department is identity and access management. This and all is not a mandatory attributes. The mandatory attributes are like preferred first name and preferred last name. These are the mandatory attributes. Okay. And see here manager details or the manager details. Manager name is also a mandatory attribute. Okay. These are the user details form. In other attributes, what are the things we have mean? For example, in other attributes also preferred first name and last name. These are the mandatory attributes as I told you here. We have certain attributes, for example, email account provisioning, see user original hire date, when this user has hired to this project or this organization. Okay, in terms of it will come. And user display name, company hierarchy. This as company hierarchies, they have certain, for example, for different regions. For example, they have hired me for an US region. So that's why they have company hierarchy underscore USA. For example, tomorrow you are going to hire as a UK region. So they're going to USA and so and so UK region like that it will come. And see workday user email. Our any IAM tool we have an trusted sources workday or HRMS. Okay, first and foremost in any IAM tool we should know that provisioning and reconciliation. Okay, provisioning means
We're
connecting data
getting
to the target.
this.
Okay,
Okay, sir.
reconciliation means bringing data from trusted source. In terms of if we need to go in depth for any for example trusted sources, just you can take as example as HRMS and Workday. Data is coming from HRMS and Workday. We have certain scheduler jobs we have. So for example, Workday, sorry, Saviynt onboarding user job, Saviynt onboarding user job,
Yes,
Saviynt
sir.
modifying user. Sorry.
Sir, how we can import the data from the HRMS to Saviynt, sir?
Yeah, in Saviynt, we are importing data from in terms of CSV file. Okay, I'll just show you that part as well in coming classes. So
Okay.
whenever we are doing an import from Workday, so we have in Saviynt we do through CSV file, but in different tools we have different manners. But in Saviynt we do import through CSV file from the HRMS to Saviynt. Okay, in different tools, for example, in OIM, what we do there is an server data will be there. So for example, from Workday, for every 2 hours, the files will be coming from Workday to that server. Okay, what as a person or as a support person, as a developer, what they will do? So they'll go and pick up that file and they'll check how many users got created in that file, and they will reconcile that data to Saviynt. Sorry, OIM. In Saviynt, how it works? In Saviynt, the import thing will work as a CSV file. Through CSV, user will get onboarded into an Saviynt system from Workday. Okay, here we have certain custom properties. So, for example, custom property 39, custom persona is MSP, custom property 43. Write back means what you mean by write back? For example, your data is there in Saviynt. For example, you have changed your email ID, something you have changed, you have given suffix Gouda one you have given. So which needs to be replicated into Workday system. What you will do, you have to write back to Workday. So what we will do in that case, we will copy and paste. We will cut this Workday and we will again, if we again paste here, we again paste in custom property 43 means in Workday, the entry will get updated. How it will get updated? So whenever we are creating certain rules, for example, whenever we are creating technical rules, I'll show you that in future, whenever we are creating technical rules, we would have created the rule that custom property 43, whenever the person come and write back here, the email ID, the Workday email ID will get updated into a trusted source. So in Workday side, the email ID will get updated if we do any changes for this attribute. Okay. And we have see custom property 60. What we have given custom property 60, for example, in this case, so for certain users, we don't have email ID. Okay, whenever users are getting onboarded from Workday to Saviynt, probably some users would have get email ID. Probably some users would have not get email ID because why they means the managers would have not given the first time and last some details would have not given. That's why email ID would have not provision. Then later we will get a requirement that the person needs an email ID for so and so to work accordingly in Clarios system like that. So this system is a Clarios account. The person want to work in Clarios system, so he needs an email ID. At the time, what we will do, we will come and give here as an yes. So this attribute if we give yes means, for example, which the rule whenever we are setting up a technical rule, we would have said that custom property 60 is equal to update whenever user email ID is blank. If we give the custom property is yes, the user email ID will get triggered like that, the details we would have given. So if we give this as yes, the whatever the email ID will not be there, right? The email ID will get triggered. So this is how the other attributes work. For example, user groups. User groups means, for example, Chandan is part of some UAP group, some ED group, some any other different application group. You will be the member of that group. Okay. For example, you are the member of that group to approve any entitlement, to approve any rules at the time. So people will include you in the group name. For example, now in this project, so they have not included me in any of the group. Since I am the admin, I have all the privileges. So that's why I have not been included in the user groups. As a end user, what you will not get this admin part and all. Okay, you will get only the identity repository. And first and foremost, I showed you right ERS part. Only you will get this part. At the admin account only, I can see all these attributes. For an end user, you don't see all of these things. Accounts. So next thing is accounts. See, in accounts, I told you right in ERS model, if you want to go and request for an Active Directory and admin server account and ED shared network folder access. These are the applications. These are the connected application which are provisioned for any specific user. These are the birthright application for any user who is getting into an Saviynt or any other application like OIM or SailPoint. We would have set like that. birthright application should get provision like Active Directory. In different application, like they would have said, Active Directory is the most common thing. Every target system will be having. But in certain cases, Active Directory and email account and EBS application will be there. So in our system, we have set up that Active Directory and service account and shared network folder access. Active Directory is the for every Active Directory there is an Active Directory is a target system. Okay. For example, if you are doing changes in Active Directory here, okay, it will get updated in AD team because some other team will be managing the Active Directory. So called a target system. See, in provisioning and reconciliation, we have trusted source reconciliation and target source reconciliation. We have in reconciliation, we have two types. So trusted sources, I told you Workday and HRMS. Target is like LDAP, Active Directory. These are the target systems like Xstore, like these are the target systems we have in every system. So Active Directory side is the targets system, as I told you. And in terms of, for example, you want to request, if you want to request any kind of application, you just come and check in your accounts tab. You can see that, for example, Chandan is part of any other application called as AS400 or any QAD application or any SAP roles or any different kind of application. You can come and check here. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Tell me.
Nothing, sir. Continue, sir.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Continue,
Yeah.
sir.
You're telling something? Okay. Sure. Okay, as I told you, roles, right? Certain roles, for example, I told you whenever user is onboarded into any application, so he should require a certain roles. Since my account is an admin account, I don't have any specific roles because I have already an admin account. I have all the access. I can do any changes. I can do any modification with respect to any users, with respect to anything. Okay. Since as a end user, those people will not be having these types of like roles, entitlements. Only you can see you will be having an ERS model and what and control center you will be having as an end user. You can see only ERS and control centers. If you want to go ahead and request for any application, you can go ahead and request. If you want to do any changes, means you need to request a change request for any Saviynt Saviynt admin people or any Saviynt group like that, like for us. Okay. So these are the roles for any user. If you want to access any application, for example, if you want to access an AD application, AD target system, you need to access means you need a certain specific role will be there. For example, global AD role will be there for any user. For any general users, what we will give as a global AD role. What that user go ahead and do, that user can able to access the target AD and you can check able to log in for AD account. So this is how the roles are set up in any particular application. SAV roles, this is only mainly basically provision for only the Saviynt system. SAV roles is, for example, any user will get onboarded from HRM, any Workday system to Saviynt. That those users will be having a particular role underscore admin role underscore user. These are the why this roles has given for me as a admin user. I have this admin user role. As a role underscore user, this role is only given for admin users. For SAV roles means for end user, what you'll be having, you will be having in one particular role. For example, if you are coming from an US region and if you are an manager for a certain sorry, if you are an role owner for a certain application or entitlements, so you'll be having a certain role. For example, if you want to approve certain role or certain entitlements, you need in certain roles, SAV roles, which specific to that application. So at that time, what we will do, we will just go here actions and we, if you want to add any roles, means we just click add and we can add the any particular SAV role for in only Saviynt application. In any other application, will not be having any SAV roles. Okay, as I told you already, segregation of duties. Segregation of duties, you're aware about it, right? Segregation of duties, we have an, for example, segregation of any any user requesting for any particular application. If that application should go to the request assignee of his manager. If you are submitting any request on any application, it should not come to your approval only. If it is coming to your approval only, means that is the SOD violation. So you should not approve it, right? Any your subordinate, your manager or your that particular role owner should approve the application for application request. Okay. Update history in Saviynt. See, in any other systems, we don't have this option. In Saviynt, if you do any changes with respect to any application, any person, anything you do, everything will be updated. Yes, everything. If you do any changes, what see in Saviynt, we cannot delete any data. That is one thing. Okay. Now we can only once the user is onboarded into an event, that's it. You cannot able to delete. You can inactive. You can disable. That's it. You cannot able to delete. Everything will be stored. For example, if I'm doing any changes for this user, everything will be stored for any user, any application. If you want to do any change, for example, in other tools, what will happen? In admin accounts, for example, any certain application, somebody would have changed some data. Okay. Somebody would have come and run some certain rules and certain jobs. Okay, then if as a manager, if I come and check something has happened, some issue has been happened for that certain application. As a manager, come and check that why this application has run, who has run. We don't have any proof like that. Only that application will be showing that certain particular time frame. It will be showing when it has been ran, who what has been ran and all. It will not show. In Saviynt, what it will happen if you run any rules, if you run any jobs, if you run if you do any if you do update for any user accounts or any user, everything will be stored. No one can hide anything in Saviynt. That is the main thing they have did whenever they are doing the cloud migrations. Approvers, for example, if you are an approver for any particular application or particular entitlements, you can come and check here. The entitlement owner list. Since I am since this is an admin account, you'll be not having I'll be not having any particular entitlement role. Since I can do any changes, I can do any modification as an end user. You guys will not able to see all of those things. So when it comes to accounts part, I have already told you. Okay.